Welcome
to Munda Makeover.
We have traveled all over Zambia to find hard-working farmers.
We want to share their success stories.
And where there are challenges, we will bring experts to help them gain the extra knowledge they need.
So they can adapt and make their farms more productive even while the climate changes.
We want to support them to get better yields.
And increase their income.
We will see how farmers from across the country can benefit from our experts' advice.
While also learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences as they improve their farms.
On
Munda Makeover!
Hey, Cozy.
Hey, Katanana.
I have a question for you.
Talk to me.
Do you think money is the answer to all problems?
Why do you ask?
Well, sometimes when people have a problem, they think money is the only solution.
Well, it's easy to see why you would think that way, but sometimes the answer to a problem is right in front of our eyes.
Exactly. This week we're visiting a farmer and finding out, is money the answer for all?
Or if the answer is within reach.
Or both?
Let's go.
Today, we are in Mwamba Mulilo in Northern Province and we're visiting Bwalya Chisanga.
Bwalya is married to Jennifer and together they have 4 children.
He has 18 hectares of land and uses a small portion for fish farming. Let's go and meet him.
Odi. Hey, how are you?
Thank you so much.
My name is Jennifer Chisanga.
I am Bwalya Chisanga.
Yes.
I am a parent of 4 children.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
2 boys, 2 girls.
Yes.
Balance. Good one.
What challenges have you been facing here on your farm?
I am facing a lot of challenges. The first one is the lack of capital.
Right.
Yeah, you know, when I'm planning to farm 1 hectare of soya beans, it requires a large capital. Yeah.
And Mrs. Chisanga, you are here on the farm, you're helping your husband, but how do you cook? What do you use to cook here?
We use firewood to cook, and at times I use charcoal too.
We have some experts, right, Cozy, who are able to help you with your problem.
So if you give us some time, we're going to leave, speak to our experts to see if we can get some solutions for some of the challenges that you've told us about here.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What makes me excited? Munda Makeover, they will teach me a lot of things about farming, which is the business that I do.
Climate change continues to affect farming. We can no longer rely on the old ways to produce good crop. We need to adapt. Kasamaa Multi-Cooperative Society is a farming cooperative that supplies fingerlings and extension services to farmers in Northern and Wapula provinces and targets to reach other markets across the country. But are the fish farmers also being affected by climate change? Felix Mulenga from Kasamaa Multi-Cooperative Society is here to help us learn more.
Now looking at aquaculture, I'm happy Mr. Chisanga is blessed. If you look at the amount of water in his pond, how water is flowing, it's abundant water.
Of course.
But if you go and see other rivers, they are totally dried. And some, those they have capacity, are just drilling bores in order for fish to survive. The result from all this I am talking about is because of climate change. So we are also helping our farmers to think broad so that they prepare themselves adequately. Maybe no rain throughout the year, even it touches another year, what will be the result?
So knowing that we might have less rainfall and reduced water levels, or we might have a situation where there's too much rainfall and it might cause flooding, what are some of the solutions that we might be thinking about as fish farmers?
When we have too much rainfall, we do experience flooding of ponds, which might cause to lose.
Loss of fish.
Exactly. So starting from the pond layout construction, you will be able to calculate the amount of water may required in that particular pond, so that even if we have heavy rainfall, water should go out and
Right.
remain at
At a
its
stable level.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So these are some of the issues which we do help our farmers to understand.
Okay.
That's why even before establishing the fish pond, we select the site.
Selecting a good site for your fish pond is very important, especially as we try to fight climate change. 1. It has to be near your water source. 2. For farmers with ponds in areas that are prone to floods, the pond should be near a place with a slight upper slope of land so that it does not get flooded easily. The pond should have an inlet and outlet for water so that when it gets flooded, the farmer can open the outlet to control the water level and avoid fish losses resulting from floods. Now, what do we do if we have extreme temperatures which are causing our water levels to be reduced and delayed rainfall? What are some of the measures we can put in to ensure that we don't make too many losses?
There are some areas where you can find, we help them first to construct the reservoir that can hold water for the future use.
Right.
Because we might not have rain. So some have already done reservoirs just to store water. If you just rely and depend on fish farming itself, and during that particular year, then the rivers dries and everything dries, how are you going to survive? One, you will be forced to harvest small fish and then you lose, but that's where now we are helping our farmer to integrate. One, integrating aquaculture to chicken, pigs, and growing vegetables as well.
Of course.
So that at least if the river dries and then the farmer can remain with pigs,
Right.
which can also help him in the future once the rain comes back
Of
to
course.
gain another capital and then go
Come
back to
into-
aquaculture.
Of course.
We have to consider all the risks and then we help them to manage them
Of
so that
course.
they are well equipped and well prepared.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
He is opening us our mind. If I depend on fish farming, and when there is no rain and my ponds dried up, it means the business ends.
Of course.
Yeah. If I have chicken, I can remain selling chicken.
Of course.
Yeah. This is a big knowledge. Yeah.
Help us understand some of the things that he might need to improve on his farm.
Where you are able to see fish.
Yes.
So for the predators, it is very easy for the bird which is
Right.
flying there to see, oh, there is a fish there, to just come and pick it.
Can I take a guess? It's
Yeah.
under-fertilized.
Exactly.
When your pond is well fertilized, it will have a slight green color to it. This green color makes it difficult for predators like birds to see the fish in the pond.
Also, if the pond is not well fertilized, the growth rate is poor.
Right.
Now, looking at the business or considering the business, you have bought 4,000 fingerlings from Kasamaa. You have stocked here, and then the pond is not well fertilized, and then the bird every day picks one fish, one fish, one fish. And according to our mathematics, we calculate one fish as money,
Of course.
and it is part of our profit. Now, for the period of 6 months, how many kgs is he going to lose? At the end of the day, he will say, thieves have stolen my fish,
Wow.
forgetting that his pond was poorly managed.
Our expert Mulenga went on to say that farmers can use chicken or pig droppings to help fertilize their fish ponds. It is important that the fertilization is balanced, as too much fertilization or too little is not good for the fish.
A farmer might prefer one activity over many. But what if it's not all about one activity, one crop, one animal? What if it's about a group of activities, all meant to benefit you? Our farmer has only been practicing fish farming, but he now realizes that in the face of climate change, he needs to have other activities on his farm. I'm taking Bwalya to Kasamaa Multi-Cooperative Society to get a better understanding of integration. Integration is having different activities on your farm that benefit each other. The cooperative has pigs, chickens, fish ponds, a garden with various cereal crops and vegetables. He's a professional fish farmer. Wouldn't it be more wiser to just focus on one area of farming, fishing? Why does he have to touch soybeans and chickens and all these things? Isn't that causing confusion on the farm?
This integration supports each other. That's why it is important. Whenever there is a climate change, I'm sure everything cannot die at one time. The farmer can remain with something. Also, we do integration in order to reduce cost of production. An example, we have a farm where we grow sunflower, soybeans, maize, millet, and groundnuts.
Okay.
To come and make our own fish feed because it is cheap.
Okay. It's cheaper for you to grow all those things and feed your fish than to buy the feed?
We did analyze the cost of production for the fish feed itself. It was high. If I give you the total production for 1 year, feeding the all 14 fish ponds you can see here, it went up to 430,000 somewhere there.
Wow, that's a lot.
And then when we go to the cost of production of legume growing and what I mentioned, it didn't went beyond 100,000.
Wow. That's a big difference.
Exactly.
Each product or each crop requires its own capital. So for me as a farmer,
That's
this is
a very
challenge.
big concern.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we are talking about integration, this does not mean that someone should have maybe the big amount of money to begin with integrating. An example of a pig, it is going at 350 kwacha, and a pig is also cheaper than a bag of feed. If he gets 2 pigs, a male and a female, within 6 months, it will give birth. You have maybe 80 pigs. The dumps, the droppings for the pig, we use them to mix when formulating our fish feed.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Also, it functions well to fertilize the pond in order to improve phytoplanktons and zooplanktons requires for the fish to grow fast as well. So you see the benefit of a pig itself, which is so cheap as well.
This is a good plan, and I am sure my mind is open now.
It's opening up, eh?
What I like is education, because when you're about to enter in a certain business, you have to see someone who knows about that business you are about to do. What he is explaining is very fine.
Maybe we might not start so big. What if we started small, like with chickens?
The local chickens are good and they are cheaper.
Okay.
If a farmer like my colleague just had 1 female chicken, it can come and hatch maybe 10, 12 according to the type of chicken he's keeping. Within 6 months, the chickens will be big. You can even use local materials to make the chicken run. And what is needed are the direct droppings. If I have that, then I bring soybeans, sunflower, maize blend, I grind and mix. Then I even get lysine and I formulate. I'm telling you, the fish grows very well. And then you can also use manure to grow garden. You can get vegetables and you feed the fish as well.
Wow.
So if we are talking about integration, we are looking into many components that can support one to each other. So this is the importance of integration.
We've talked about the pigs and the chickens. Which one do you think would be the easiest to start with for you?
Chicken, it is easy for me to start with because it is cheaper.
Let's get started. With Felix's help, we will build a chicken house that will get our farmer started on his integration journey. This means that our farmer, Bwalya, will have easy access to chicken droppings to fertilize his fish pond. And if there's a long drought and his ponds dry up, the chicken business will help him to survive climate change.
If I do business alone, it can not go longer, because sometimes when I get sick, no one to look after my business. So my wife is able to do that. So there is a continuity in my business.
Hi, Cozy, how's it going?
Learning more each day, Katsanana.
Me too.
So, now that we've looked at climate change and its effect on fish farming,
And seeing how integration is crucial for a farmer's survival,
what's next? how to get financing, and saving money with energy-saving appliances. It's only natural that as your farming activity becomes more profitable, more opportunities will become available to you. But what if you're not ready for them? Do you wait or get help? Fully knowing the benefits of integration, our farmer is now thinking of adding even more activities in his farm. But he's worried because he doesn't have the capital needed. We have asked Francis Banda from Kasamaa to help out. Help us understand what type of financial services are available for farmers.
There are those that are offered by the government and the private sector.
Smallholder farmers can receive financial assistance in two major ways. The first is those offered by the government. The second are those offered by the private sector. The government, through the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC, provides smallholder farmers with the chance to apply for financial help through loans. The CEEC have an online platform where farmers can access loans or visit the Ministry of Agriculture for assistance. The application forms are free. When a farmer collects or downloads the forms, they will be guided by a loan officer or by written instructions on the website on how the application process works. From the private sector, a farmer can look for funding for their farming activities through banks and microfinance organizations. To qualify for a loan, both financial institutions will need the following. Number 1, a farmer's financial statement that covers a period of 2 years. Number 2, proof of sales made in the form of receipts and other financial documents. It is important that before applying for a loan, the farmer plans what they will do with the money they receive. This should be done through the making of a simple business plan. The business plan is meant to help you prepare for your new farming activity. Help the farmer to use the funds only for the planned farming activity. Ensure the farmer practices good record keeping. Create a repayment plan for the loan.
If you are not keeping a business record, it means you are killing yourself. Yeah, so record keeping is very, very important. This is what I'll start doing in my business.
As farming activity is weather dependent, study the costs of inputs if you are beginning your farming in the cold or hot seasons. Once you have received your money from the loan, the money will now need to be put to use. Begin recording the use of your money.
I really learned that keeping a record, this is the only way we can see if we are performing well or bad in our business.
Of course.
Yeah.
Make sure to find out what the terms and conditions of your loans are. Some loans have insurance that can help a farmer in case the farming season is not profitable. This can help protect a farmer from suffering loss and still having to pay off the loan. Thank you very much.
All right.
Technology is constantly changing every aspect of our lives, down to how we prepare our meals. It is important to know what is available to you on the market and how it can help you. Bwalya and his family use firewood to cook. The collection of firewood is time-consuming, and the smoke produced from the cooking is harmful to your health and the environment. Bwalya is thinking of buying a solar system, and we take him to visit Radiant stores in Kasamaa to learn about the different energy-saving cooking appliances. We find Precious Piri from Mex to tell us more.
Precious, I'm so used to meeting you in people's homes, and today we are at this store. What's so special about today?
Yes, exactly. That's because today I have more than one appliance to show you.
Ah, fantastic. But I did tell Mr. Chisanga about the EPC.
So EPC stands for electric pressure cooker. It's an energy efficient appliance. So on this shelf, we have a number of energy efficient appliances. And by energy efficient appliances, it means that it's going to use less electricity. So this is the electric pressure cooker that she's been talking about, the EPC. So as you can see, it is very well insulated outside. That means that it does not lose any electricity as opposed to a stove. So with a stove pot, because it's open, there's a lot of heat that is lost. But this one, because it's covered, it's insulated, the heat is stored inside. It cooks just like a normal stove. The benefits is that this will cook your food in less time. And that means that you're going to save power. And then it cooks at high pressure. That's what makes it very efficient. It's going to last you a long time and so much cheaper to use.
The initial cost of an electric pressure cooker is a little expensive, but it saves you money in the long run. It's safe to use, uses less electricity, less time, and it doesn't smoke at all, as it's clean fuel. Moving from firewood will also help protect our tree cover and reduce on climate change.
In the place where I live, which is rural, there is no electricity.
So if you do not have electricity yet, you can buy a solar or an inverter. This appliance will work with the solar. Apart from the electric pressure cooker for cooking foods, because you also boil some water maybe to make some tea or some bathing water sometimes. So you can also use an electric kettle as opposed to a stove. It can also work using your solar. The electric kettle, as you can see, it is also well insulated. It means that it does not lose heat to the environment, and thus it will save you power. So this lid is usually also very airtight, which means that no heat is being lost to the environment, so the water will boil faster.
How long this kettle can work?
For as long as you use it well, a kettle can last you a very long time. So for example, the way you use it well is that when you're putting your water, you can only add up to the max point.
Okay.
So the water doesn't have to overrun and damage the electric connection that it stands on. So it also comes with a warranty, which you can always get from the shop that you bought it from. So this store, Radian, has what they call Radian Online. So that means that you can buy your appliances and also pay from there. Then you can either pick up from the store or they can have it delivered to wherever you will be.
I am really happy to be in this nice shop where I saw this product, which are not familiar to me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Precious, for sharing this information. Mr. Chisanga. Mrs. Chisanga.
Yeah, Mrs. Chisanga.
Mrs. Chisanga.
Mrs. Chisanga.
It's going to make a difference, huh?
Yes.
Well, as you've seen for yourselves, energy efficient products are going to save you time, they're going to save you money, and of course, they are safe for the environment.
Yeah.
Mrs. Chisanga.
Mrs. Chisanga.
Okay, Mr. Chisanga, we are finished with the coop. What do you think about this?
Development, real development to me, to us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
A brand new
yeah.
chicken run.
Nice. It's looking organized, it's looking clean.
More manure for your fish fertilization.
The things that you teach us. My heart is pumping.
A heart full of joy.
Yeah. My family and the community are going to benefit.
Right.
Many people come to visit my farm. I'll start teaching them, just do this and this and this.
It's definitely time to leave you, but not you. We'll see you next week
On another episode of
Munda Makeover!